We're visiting Tanzania on a nature journaling safari.
Came out here with a group of friends on a sketching tour, which is a little different. I've done a lot of traveling, but I've never done a tour where you went along slowly and you took your time and you look. You really look and you really observe nature.
Instead of taking photographs, we're drawing pictures of all the different sorts of things that we're discovering.
It's a completely different thing than using a camera. I wish I'd been doing this my whole life.
Straight ahead, you see something white moving on the ground.
We're in the short grassland here in Serengeti National Park. We found a group of 3 cheetah this morning. They're out looking for breakfast, and it appears to be a larger one and 2 smaller ones, so we're making an assumption perhaps that's a mother with 2 teenage cubs. And they started off close to the road and made their way back, and they're now just bedded off in the acacia trees not too far off the road. You can still see them through the spotting scope. But as they were walking, you could see how their body is designed for speed. Long legs. Anything that is extra, they've just compacted. So the head isn't really small, proportionally small. I've been drawing lions yesterday and then seeing the cheetah today. It's a really striking contrast. So lions, bulky head. These just have a tiny little pinhead. The other thing that was really interesting was to look at the line of the back. The cheetah has this dip, a sway in its back. When the cheetah runs, the body folds up and extends and folds up and extends. Actually running with its spine, and as it was slowly walking there, you could see that flexible sort of sag in the spine. So it's been let's see, it's 8:30. 3 cheetahs, 1 hyena. This is a good morning.
Guides are phenomenal in finding things for us to see and to sketch, and even though I may not necessarily be sketching every moment, I'm taking it all in. The guides are explaining what we're seeing, why the animals are behaving the way they do, why the birds are behaving the way they do. They're talking about the geology and geography and the history and the culture, and it's all so comprehensive. I have a much richer experience.
Great drivers, they know the park really well. They've been able to take us to the right places at the right time to be able to find all sorts of wonderful things. Helped us design an itinerary, gets us to places like this where we can find early morning cheetah right within minutes of the place where we spent the night. So it's been a fantastic safari so far.
we go to the zoos in America.
In the zoos, the animals are kept in place and we get to walk around. In Serengeti, we're kept in place and they get to walk around.
That's beautiful, but it also helps me to realize that, you know, we have to take care of the resources that are surrounding us, not just in our own country, but everywhere. My husband and I do a fair amount of traveling, and whenever we come home from vacation, people always ask us, what's your favorite thing? And I think when we get home, it's going to be hard to pinpoint any one favorite moment, because every day there's something new and amazing, and at the end of the day we think, oh, what an amazing day, and then we get up the next morning and there's something even more amazing, and then more amazing, day after day after day. It's incredible. And it's beautiful. The people are so kind and so generous.
In some ways, going on the safari is like coming home to a hometown I've never been before. We learn about hippos and rhinos and elephants before we're 1 year old. Sometimes we go to the zoo and sometimes we see all kinds of things. But until we come to Tanzania, we don't really see them in perspective. And it's kind of like seeing relatives you haven't seen for 5 or 10 years and visiting them again.
This is the Kori bustard, and it has this, it's a very big bird. It's about 1 meter high and it has white legs and a white belly and a kind of a striped neck and a little crown. I'm drawing birds and I'm putting a little color on it, and it just looks beautiful. And I noticed things. I'll never forget this bird. I mean, I remember looking at it and thinking, these little white dots and everything that it has on its neck. I've never been any place in the USA that even comes close to the number of birds and animals and just the beauty. Everything, the air is so clean.
I've been asking my guides question after question. I think they'll be tired of me by the end of the week. And I've learned about their families and I've learned about the animals that they've studied. I know that they study in the off-season when it's raining and they become smarter and smarter. They seem to be able to identify every bird and every animal that I ask about. They're the smartest, nicest people around. When we were getting late, they took care of us and got us there on time. When we couldn't see the trail because it was getting dark, they knew which way to go. They're smart, they're kind, they're friendly, and they're warm. They've welcomed us like no one else.
Thank you, Felix. Thank you for driving. Asante. Yes.
My husband tends to ask a lot of questions, but the guides seem to know everything, and it's unbelievable the wealth of knowledge they have, not only of the history, but of the animals, the species, the plants, the behavior, and the experience with every guide is different because every guide has a different perspective, a different memory of the place, different stories to tell, and so it feels like a new experience every time we have a new guide. And I really appreciate that because it helps us see the country through their eyes.
The mother lion always looking for the safer place to raise their cubs. And here, one of the places where you can find the mother with the cubs because it's a more secure up the storm and hide the cubs when they want to grow them.
Rising from the Serengeti plain are these outcrops of granitic rock, and they're little islands on which you can find all sorts of interesting species, some only on those little islands. Here it's the home for 4 cubs and mama lion. On other ones you can find all sorts of lizards, you can find rock hyrax, which are these small mammals related to elephants. So different critters on different kopis. Fantastic experience. This is 11 out of 10. Just when you think it can't get any better around the next corner, you realize that it can. I already gave it a 10, and then we find even more. So definitely 11 out of 10.
I came with maybe some preconceived notions because of things that we see in the media, things that we see on TV, things that we see in film. But when you see it in person, it just makes such a huge impression that I know that I will take it into my heart and into my soul, and for me that will be unforgettable.
You need to come to Tanzania because it's the most beautiful place ever, ever.
I saw the sunset over the Serengeti plain last night, and it was a red ball because of the dust in between the mountains. And in the foreground we saw Thompson's gazelles and Grant's gazelles, and I'll never forget that sunset. It was unforgettable.
I've been to China, I've been to Japan, Korea, Laos, Vietnam, Tibet, Burma, South America, Costa Rica. I've been all over the world. This is just the most beautiful, it's unforgettable. Everyone should visit Tanzania in their lifetime. And if you can't afford a plane ticket, then swim. Tanzania is really unforgettable.
My husband and I are already planning our next return trip, and hopefully that won't be very long from now, because we're curious and we want to satisfy that curiosity, and you can't do it in 7 days.
Tanzania tumebarikiwa makabila zaidi ya 120 yenye tamaduni za kuvutia. Tumebarikiwa hifadhi, milima na mabonde, mambo kale, miji na misitu, maporomoko ya maji na fukwe za kupendeza.
Unaweza kutembelea vivutio vyote hivi kwa kutenga fedha kwa ajili ya usafiri, tozo, chakula, malazi kama itakulazimu kulala.
Ili kufahamu vivutio vyote hivi na jinsi ya kuvitembelea,
usiache kutazama Tanzania Safari Channel.
Utalii Popote. fahari ya nchi yetu.
Mambo yote ni
Tanzania Safari Channel kila Ijumaa saa 3 kamili usiku, Jumapili saa 7:30 mchana na Jumatano saa 12:30 jioni.
Tukumulaula mwensi. Mche mwize mtutandalilo kumwitu kuno. Kuli vinti vingi vya kulola.
Utalii Popote tuko Iringa na hapa tumekutana na David, yeye ni muikolojist wa muda mrefu. Anaizungumziaje filamu hii ya Tanzania The Royal Tour?
Hi Peter. Welcome to Tanzania.
Madam President, thank you so much for having me.
Nice having you here.
Nice having me here.
Please,
yeah.
Welcome.
Kitu cha kwanza nilishukuru kumuona Mheshimiwa Rais akawa ni tour guide number 1 kumzungusha Peter kwenye mazingira mengi ambayo ni inaeleweka sana kwenye nchi za nje. Kwa mfano Zanzibar, Serengeti, Kilimanjaro, Ngorongoro, na aliweza kuitangaza vizuri sana.
Kweli umeiangalia filamu hii, maana umeelezea maeneo yote mama aliyopita pamoja na Peter. Kwa wewe una ushauri gani kuhusu filamu hii ya Tanzania The Royal Tour?
Rais akipata nafasi aweze kutembelea hifadhi zetu za huku kusini mwa Tanzania. Maana nazo ni za kipekee na ni nzuri sana na tunahitaji sana nguvu zake aweze kutusaidia kutangaza hizi eneo. Kwa mfano Kitulo, Mpanga Kipengere, Ruaha, Katavi. Hizi sehemu ni za muhimu sana. Mahale Mountains ni sehemu ambazo kwa kweli zinahitajika kufahamika na kupokea watalii wengi zaidi.
David, umekaa muda mrefu Tanzania, hasa ukanda huu wa kusini. Kati ya lugha zote za makabila zinazoongelewa hapa Tanzania, wewe unaifahamu lugha gani?
Of course nafahamu Kiswahili, lugha ya taifa.
Naona unaongea vizuri sana.
Asante sana. Na Kiingereza. One of the unique types of tourism that you can do on the Kipengere Plateau is flower tourism. It's very much a niche market tourism, but the numbers of species that you can see up there between December and March are astounding, and not so much the number, but just the amazing spectacle of swards of orchids. You can find 30 or 40 species of terrestrial orchids that are amazing, and in many cases there are rare and endemic species. It's a very high level of endemism among those orchids. Others that are endangered throughout their range and only reach, or perhaps only have their only secure population is in the Kipengere Game Reserve. Things such as Disa satyriopsis, and other large showy orchids. And I'd just like to take this opportunity to encourage any of you who might be thinking of an alternative destination for tourism in Tanzania to please come to the Southern Highlands, visit the Kipengere Plateau, and the many sights and sounds that you'll hear up there. You're very welcome. Pia ninaongea Kifipa na Kifipa cha ndani kabisa. Tukumulaula mwensi. Mche mwize mtutandalilo kumwitu kuno. Kuli vinti vingi vya kulola. Ngalola nanda kulika lambo fozi, kuntanganyika, kulika tavi, kukitulo National Park, kumpanga Kipengere zirunjombe. Impanga zizizi suma sana. Mche mwize, tukumwama, izini. Tafasiri yake kidogo ni kusema jamani tunawaita kusini mje mtutembelee, kuna vitu vingi vya kuangalia kama vile ziwa Tanganyika, Kalambofozi, Katavi, Kitulo National Park na Mpanga Kipengere. Hizi ni nchi nzuri sana, ukiambaza macho zinapendeza. Karibuni sana kusini. Kusini kumenoga.
Utalii Popote na Tanzania The Royal Tour.
Prepare yourself for an epic adventure through a land inhabited by peoples who cling tightly to ancient traditions.
Tupo nyanda za juu kusini. Tupo na Afande Martha Msemo, kamishna msaidizi wa uhifadhi nyanda za juu kusini TAWA. Ni kipande gani umekifurahia sana kwenye filamu ya Tanzania The Royal Tour?
Katika filamu ile niliitazama na nilifurahi sana pale Mheshimiwa Rais alivyomwambia Peter kwamba
Kilimanjaro is just starting. Have a long way to go.
Well, I see the sign. So, where's the mountain?
See, sometimes she's shy, hiding behind the clouds.
And how high is she?
It's about 19,000 feet.
19,000 feet?
Yes.
How long is it going to take us to get there?
Sometimes 8 days for some people.
Peter alishtuka.
8 days?
Yes.
Lakini Mheshimiwa Rais alimuonyesha kwamba yeye ni jasiri kwa kumwambia, nikikoti maneno ya Mheshimiwa Rais alisema, "Come on Peter, you are with the president."
We're going to take 8 days to this?
Come on Peter, you're with the president. I've got a better idea.
I hope so.
Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Rais alichukua ndege, wakapanda ndege hiyo na kuanza kutalii na kuona mlima wa Kilimanjaro na mandhari nzuri ya kuvutia. Kwa hiyo kile kipengele mimi nilikipenda sana.
Yeah, this part is nice.
Even by plane, it seems to take us forever to climb up to the so-called roof of Africa.
Chins Peter, pole, pole, slowly, slowly. We'll get there.
You see it now? No.
No. Up there we're gonna see it. This level is cloudy. See the other small mountain over here?
Yeah, yeah.
You just see the tip of it.
And that's it.
Kwa hakika inapendeza kuona guide namba 1 Tanzania, Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan alivyomtembeza Peter kwenye kivutio cha mlima Kilimanjaro.
The first mountain peak we're able to see is called Moenza, and it's one of 3 volcanic cones that combine to spew lava and create the larger Mount Kilimanjaro, about 1 million years ago.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. The top.
And with that, we finally get our first glimpse of the summit of the legendary Kilimanjaro, the highest point on the entire African continent.
She revealed herself.
She wasn't shy. Oh, wow. I wish I can touch it. Pap.
Afande Martha, tumeona kwa namna ambavyo guide wetu nambari 1 Tanzania alivyompeleka Peter kwenye kivutio cha mlima Kilimanjaro. Kipengele hiki unaweza kukioanisha vipi na pori la akiba Mpanga Kipengere?
Nipende kusema pia hata nyanda za juu kusini tuna maeneo ya kwenye pori la akiba Mpanga Kipengere. Kuna uwanda wa juu ambao una takribani mita 3000 kutoka usawa wa bahari, ambao mandhari yake ni ya baridi sana na ya kuvutia.
Mlima Kilimanjaro una sifa ya kuwa mlima mrefu kuliko yote barani Afrika na urithi wa dunia. Wewe mtazamaji unaweza kutenga muda na kutembelea kivutio hiki cha kipekee kabisa duniani.
Karibuni pori la akiba Mpanga Kipengere, muweze kujionea vivutio mbalimbali vilivyopo, yakiwemo maporomoko ya maji, uoto wa asili na mandhari nzuri ya kuvutia.
Maporomoko ya maji, Mpanga Kipengere, ulenga mwingine na likolongo, utalii Mpanga Kipengere, ulenga mwingine na likolongo. Kama mibara,
Mpanga Kipengere, the land of waterfalls.
Kwa hakika Mpanga Kipengere ni the land of waterfalls. Tenga muda wako uje utembelee pori hili uone maajabu ya Mungu, nyanda tofauti tofauti, maporomoko ya maji, maua na vitu vingi kadha wa kadha. Kama hujaangalia bado filamu ya Tanzania The Royal Tour, wakati ndio sasa.
Tukumula mbalika, utalii popote, fahari ya nchi yetu.